step because I couldn't get a post, couldn't get it to fire up or anything. So I had to go step by step by step, and after letting him know what to do, I finally went and repasted everything, checked all the stuff, tore it out, cleaned it up, you know, did everything. Well, I charged $55 an hour and had about 31 hours in, so it's about $1,700 the client has owed me. Well, per my policy, when abandoned my policy, after 30 days, no contact, nothing, you know, he abandoned equipment. Well, a few days ago, last week, he had contacted the police department and proceeded to tell them that I had stolen equipment. Well, I wouldn't give him the equipment back because he has an open invoice. And officer tried to say, well, we can get you with theft. This is not a police matter. This is, you know, a civil contractual dispute. And so after that, I ain't heard no more contact. Well, now he's having his girlfriend post on our Facebook page that we stole it, tore it apart, this, that, and the other, and has scared new potential clients away because of this. Well, I want to let you know that sometimes, you know, you're gonna have clients that do this because it's not a grown-up thing to do. It's very childish on their behalf. I'm not counting anymore. I'm not going to take stuff without getting a proper payment. At least if I got to do stuff like this, it's going to at least be half of the money up front, because now I've got to go through all the proper channels to get the review down because of inaccurate misinformation on their behalf and lies towards Techworkz, which is not right. But of course you got people who's like that because they don't want to pay, they want to make lies and stuff like that. I don't normally like making videos about this, but basically the guys try to get me to do work and basically scam me out of money and stuff, and I'm not just going to give them when they got to open the voice back. And plus, not counting, they abandoned it, which I have abandonment policy in place, and even sent the officer at my local police department, you know, invoice proof, all that stuff. But if you got a tech business and stuff out there, you know, be mindful and know your rights and rules. Like, they can't make you give it back to them. They cannot do that. It's a contractual, it's a civil dispute. So they can't make you, like, if this happens to you, which, you know, I hope it never does, but I don't like making videos and stuff about people like this, but I want, you know, awareness out there for those who doesn't know your rights and stuff as a business, because the judge is going to decide with you anyway if they try to take you to court and all that stuff, because you properly, you know, you did professional services and you made them sign agreements and stuff, which I'm going to throw those on the screen to show y'all that what this client did. I'm not going to put the name out there. He knows who he is. If you're watching this, you know who you are. You know what you did. You know what you and your girlfriend did is wrong, and lied up on us about that stuff, and which can intentionally harm and affect your business out there with stuff regarding like this, especially over lies, knowing that you owe money for services rendered, and you signed agreements and contracts, then try to bring other people into it, especially local law enforcement, which they have no leeway or right to it because it's a civil dispute. But I wanted to bring this to y'all's attention today. Don't let people like this try to scam you or potentially scam you or your business. Make sure that you have policies in place to protect you just in case something like this ever happens, and I hope it never does. But stuff like this will protect your business and what you do, because, you know, our whole job and stuff, you know, I try to help people, but, you know, this is what I get, and the lesson that I learned from helping people, that when it comes to stuff like this, you know, business is business and personal is personal, which, you know, sometimes, you know, especially if somebody has a good heart, they try to take advantage of you. But from now on, if you contact Techworkz needing work done, with stuff like this happen, there's policies that I have to sign as well as you have to sign. And anybody out there who's going through the same thing, just, let them know, that it's a contractual dispute. It's not a criminal matter, which it's not, which, stuff like this does happen, and I hate it, but it just baffles me that people can even do stuff like this. Imagine this, you run a legitimate business, you pour hours of labor into custom tech or media projects, and you get a client to sign a formal agreement and you deliver the work, but then when it's time to pay up, the client vanishes. Prime example of what they did, and you did it. Makes up a web of lies about separate transactions instead of handling it like an adult. They call the local police, and worst, officers show up trying to use intimidation tactics to bully you over what is 100% a civil contract dispute. Today, we're talking about a World War nightmare scenario, consumer and client accountability, exactly what a business owner can do when someone tries to weaponize law enforcement against you. So, let's break this down, which I'm going to show you the paperwork, and it's going to be over here. Every business owner knows that cash flow and client relationships is lifeblood and what we do. But occasionally you encounter a bad actor, and recently we had a deal with an individual, his name's Isaac Selfridge, who tried to trick in the book to dodge his financial obligations. After the work was fully rendered and documented, this client started spinning false claims across 2 separate transactions. When that didn't work, local law enforcement got dragged into the picture based on those false statements. And contract and paperwork trail matters, We had fully executed agreements and documentation signed after the work was completed. Proof of work doesn't disappear just because someone decides to lie. Hello. The law is involved. Invoice or dispute over services rendered in a civil matter is not a criminal offense. Police officers do not have the legal authority to act as a private collection. They have legal authority to act as act in a private collection or use scarce tactics and to force intimidation over you to hand something over. Go. Excuse me, I'll be right back 1 second. Come on. Big Daddy is trying. You cannot touch the computer. You cannot do nothing. Sit right there and stop. So I'm trying to make it. So, with that being said, stuff like this happens all the time. They cannot use scare tactics to force compliance over a civil debt. If you ever been in a position where someone tried to bully you with badge numbers over a business dispute, you know how frustration but panic is the worst thing you can do. Let's see what else I got for you. So this brings us to the matter of massive point of consumer and business awareness. How do you protect yourself and when the client turns toxic? The second a client starts avoiding lying, stop taking the phone calls, cut off verbal communication entirely, make it a strict policy. Everything must be written via email. This creates a unalterable paper trail for your attorney if they show up unannounced, or if they show up at your commercial property unannounced. Treat it for what it is, a security issue. Let the law enforcement handle actual trespassing rather than letting the client manipulate them. Abandoned property laws. When a client leaves hardware or products in your possession after refusing to pay or coordinate pickup, look closely at your state laws regarding abandoned property. Give them a strict legally backed deadline, like a formal 7-day notice to pay their balance in full and pick up their property, or face legal forfeiture and storage legal fees. Let's see. What else I got? Keep administrative records airtight, so they can't try to say, well, he said this, he said that. You know, there's a paper trail goes a long way. The best defense against bad faith actors is delivery confirmations, timestamp logs, work orders, and signed work orders. Intimidation tactics only work if you let them. When you operate with integrity, keep your contracts ironclad, and refuse to bow down in false police reports, you hold all the cards, period. To anyone out there trying to scam small business owners or weaponize the system, it doesn't work. Paper trails don't lie. And courts handle civil debts. This is not a criminal, this is a civil issue. If you found this video helpful and want more raw behind the scenes insights of running a tech and media business without getting burned, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment below and we'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp. We're going to do more videos to help business like this, but share this video to help other people, you know, help get us out there, because we're trying to build a legitimate business out here. Let you know, people know that Techworkz is honest people, and I'm trying to let y'all also, you subscribers, see the raw other side of us. Like I said, you know, we're on a different scale with things now, so we're also wanting you to see what goes behind the scenes as well, because the person that you normally see behind that camera right there is not always the same person off that camera. And so now I'm trying to let y'all see the behind the scenes of what goes on here. But y'all stay sharp, man. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.